First of all, I just want to thank all of you and the candidates for taking the time to be here tonight. It shows an interest in what's important in our community and a commitment to those who are running to serve it. I'll give you a short synopsis of what Seacliff Manor brings to your community. We're dedicated to providing seniors with an opportunity to live as independently as possible in a safe and secure environment. With options for future care programs, we're here to offer the choices that suit their own personal needs now and in the future. Discover the freedom to live amongst a vibrant community with comfort and knowing assistance is there. Seacliff Manor offers a relaxed lifestyle defined by personalized service and wonderful new friendships. It begins with our passion for healthy aging and wellness, whether it's an active social lifestyle or a quiet, comforting environment. Whatever you desire, we have it all. Seacliff Manor is proudly owned by Paroli Group Development. It's a family-run business from your own community. Seacliff by Paroli brings a solid foundation of family values to Seacliff Manor, a community filled with heart, offering residents comfort, care, and support. Seacliff Manor offers a continuum of supportive living services. We take care of the cooking and the cleaning so you don't have to. Companionship, community, laughter, and a little encouragement can go a long way toward helping you live each day to the fullest. We're here to enrich your day, and our fun, energetic approach is a philosophy that can be enjoyed throughout the scheduled and spontaneous activities. Whether your lifestyle includes individual hobbies, group, or informal activities, it is your choice, and we are here to encourage your imagination and ideas. Home-cooked meals without any fuss equals delicious, easy, healthy dining. Your dining experience is treated with the same attention to service as all other aspects of life at Seacliff Manor. Our European-style cuisine is prepared with a flair by our experienced chef and culinary team. Freshly prepared a la carte meals are locally inspired and served in a restaurant-style atmosphere. Take it from us, nothing's more important than how our residents feel about living with us, the services we provide, and the benefits they feel from living at their new home. Word of mouth and a personal referral to family and friends say it all when it comes to the value and benefits and sense of belonging. So again, we welcome you to Seacliff Manor. For the podium, each candidate will have 5 minutes to showcase their platform. I will remind you to keep your questions to the end, where all the candidates will be around to individually answer any questions that you might have. Again, the restrooms are 2 at the end and 2 around the corner. A very special thank you to our staff at Seacliff Manor and CFTV for hosting this event. I would like to remind everyone that this is a public event in which CFTV may be broadcasted now and at a later date. My name is Kari Sleiman. I'm the General Manager here at Seacliff Manor, and I will be moderating the forum tonight. At this time, I'd like to introduce the candidates in their speaking order. We will start with the candidates running for Deputy Mayor, starting with Larry Verbicki.
I want to thank you for coming out today, and I first thought I was in an airplane. There's 2 bathrooms that way, and there's 2 bathrooms that way, just to let everybody know. My name's Larry Verbicki, and I'm running for your Deputy Mayor. I am a lifelong resident of Leamington, growing up on the family farm that my grandfather purchased in 1912 for $3,100. $62 an acre, 7% interest he was charged. At $1.50 for tobacco and about that much for potatoes, he got it paid off. My dad was born on the farm. I have been on the farm, I'm still on the farm, for 60 years. I've been on that farm, and I've worked for 45 years. My first crop was 15 years old, and it was a crop of tobacco that we hung at Fisher's Barn. I'm very committed to the farming aspect of this area. I was the first past vice president of the Fruit and Vegetable Growers of Ontario. I was the first past chair of the Fresh Vegetable Growers of Ontario. I'm the past chair of the Essex County Federation of Agriculture, the Essex County Farm Safety Association, the Essex County Associated Growers. And when I was president of the Essex County Federation of Agriculture, I was fortunate enough to have a great team behind me, and we produced the first buy local map. And it was more like a field to table. You could go around, pick the crops you wanted. There was a tour of the county and farming, and you could buy the fresh fruits, local, fresh, nothing better than that. I was also past executive secretary of the South Essex Economic Development Committee, or SEED. And I was a past president of the Leamington Chamber of Commerce. I am a 3rd and 4th degree member of the Knights of Columbus in Leamington, and I usher on Sundays at the same church, St. Michael's. For the last 8 years, I have been on council. 2 terms. I commit 20 to 30 hours a week just on council. My other appointments to council are with the Essex County Region Conservation Authority, the Union Water Supply System, the non-for-profit housing, and the Mayor's Youth Advisory, where it was very enlightening to see where our future's coming. You people here that live in here, thank you for all you've done in your past for bringing Leamington to where it is. It's changing. We need to expect change. We don't like change, but we have to live with it. Apart from my councilor duties, I am also the Source Protection Authority Liaison, and that's for your drinking water, to make sure your drinking water is safe. I've been on that committee since December of '07. I am also Vice President of the Leamington, and the word you don't hear too much anymore is Mercia Historical Society. And I enjoy holding my daily roundtable discussions at the local coffee shops to hear all kinds of things, both rural and urban, that we need to look at. Building business, as well as the infrastructure, is what we need. The building of the sewer lines north on Highway 77 to County Road 8 will open paths for industry, and also potential for subdivisions. The industrial parks are waiting to grow, and they, in turn, will give us good jobs and more housing. Placing new sewer lines on County Road 20 to County Road down to County Road 31 will also provide new subdivisions up on Fraser. There's one already scheduled. I will strive to continue the rural and urban renewal. It's time to get community improvement programs to move to other areas that are needed, and for those who are willing to help themselves. We need to continue to promote our town as a major tourist destination. The marina, the pier, the amphitheater, our sporting facilities, Point Pelee National Park, and just to name a few. In 2008, we were supposed to get our official plan done, and we do that every 5 years. 10 years later, we still haven't done it. It's time to get the long official plan completed. We have to start to implement the new and temporary bylaws that we've made. Some of them are outdated, some of them need to be tweaked. Property standard, business license, and the sign bylaw must all be reviewed. We cannot continue to make it hard for business to open up here. We need to treat everybody the same. Zoning for businesses in the right location is another thing. We can do this together.
Larry, we're at the 5 minute.
Pardon?
We're at the 5 minute. 5 minute mark.
Already?
Already.
Wow. My last thing is, if it wasn't for the council of the day, you probably wouldn't be in this building right now. Council took the initiative about 5 years ago to take away the development charges, and I believe that's what made this group build here instead of elsewhere. Thank you for everything. Talk to me later. Have a great night.
Thank you, Larry. Next, I'd like to invite Dharmesh Patel.
Okay, so I can talk loud. Apparently I'm allowed to now, so you should all be, can you all hear me in the back? Yes, perfect. All right, so good evening, fellow residents of Leamington. First and foremost, thank you to Seacliff Manor for providing this beautiful venue and graciously allowing my fellow candidates and I to participate in this debate tonight. Also, thank you to Tony Vidal and his team at CFTV for broadcasting our message to all the viewers so that they can all be informed voters as well. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Dharmesh Patel, and I'm running in this election to be your next deputy mayor. By no means am I a politician, nor do I claim to have any experience in this field. What I am is a local businessman, a father, and a longtime resident of this fine community, and I'm proud to call Leamington home. Having seen where we've been and where we are going is one of the main reasons I have decided to throw my hat in the ring. I would like to be able to help make Leamington the #1 place to live in Canada again. And while that will not be a quick fix by any means, I believe that it's time for change and it's time for action. I have learned quite a bit over the past few months running in this election, and I would first of all like to say thank you to all the members of the current council. Mayor John Patterson, who's not here tonight, but Deputy Mayor Hilda McDonald, And then our counselors, John Hammond, John Jacobs, Bill Dunn, Larry Verbicki, and Tim Wilkinson. This by no means is a job to be taken lightly. These people have committed, as my opponent said, a countless number of hours for the betterment of our community. They do not do it for the money. Trust me, I've seen what they make. They do not do it for the recognition. They do it for the love of the community. For each and every one of you out there. And one thing I've learned over the years in business is that it's impossible to please everyone. And this setting is no different. There are decisions that are easy and there are decisions that require a lot of thought and research. And sometimes they're very hard to make, but nevertheless, they need to be made. But I believe the time has now come for new faces to come in and present fresh ideas and a forward way of thinking, but more importantly, to take action. The end goal, of course, is the same, and that is the success of our municipality. And to once again, revive our uptown, increase tourism, all while attracting new investment, a skilled workforce, and hopefully an increased tax base with all the new residents. By improving communication between not only the municipal government and our businesses, but also businesses and other organizations within the community, I strongly believe that we can all work together to once again increase tourism, attract more investment, and reduce the overall costs of running our municipality, which hopefully will help in reducing our property taxes, and also by increasing our tax base with the attraction of more residents and maintaining the same or better level of service. While those are just some of the main issues we need to focus on, it is by no means the only issues we face. The revival of the uptown core, the reduction of crime and drugs, infrastructure, internet in the rural areas, affordable housing, sewer replacement and expansion to allow growth to the north of town, and the list goes on. No one issue deserves 100% of our time, and resources, as they should, all be deemed equally important. However, we need to start somewhere and complete the list. We need to set deadlines and budgets and adhere to them just as we do in our everyday lives, whether it's at work, at home, or in our businesses. I firmly believe that one of the most important things that will result in attracting more investment into our community is the attraction of a skilled workforce. Everything is tied together, and again, I believe that if the right team is in place at Town Hall, we can easily achieve our goals, but it must be a team effort. Our community is unique and full of hardworking individuals of all different cultures and backgrounds, giving us a competitive edge. It's time we come together and work as a team and lead our residents into the future. I've been all over the world, but no matter where I've been, I always can't wait to get back to Leamington because it's home. And seeing my children feel the same way is why I'm investing my time and energy to ensure that they can continue to call this home and hopefully soon, once again, the best place to live in Canada. I've spent most of my life in Leamington, and I hold this town near and dear to my heart. And I believe that my experiences here and why I'm a successful businessman and family man are allowing me to commit to succeeding, and that's no easy task. It requires sacrifice and dedication, and sometimes even working around the clock. It involves doing things you love and sometimes things you don't like, but they're all part of the experience. I believe that these attributes, combined with my experience in assessing a business, finding its strengths and weaknesses, and focusing on turning it around to achieve growth, is why I should be considered a serious contender, because at the end of the day, everything can be related to a business. As you look around, you see a room full of people who are all directly or indirectly business people in one form or another. You are all committed to working hard, and you've worked hard your whole lives, doing what it takes to ensure that all the bills are paid, families are fed, and by the end of the day, some money saved up in the
Darmus.
Yep.
Get the 5 minute mark.
Okay. So in closing, from October 12th to the 22nd, I urge you to become an informed voter and make sure you take the time to vote. I'm Dharmesh Patel, and I'm asking for you to give me a chance as Deputy Mayor to show you what I can do and help make Leamington the #1 place to live in Canada again. Thank you.
Thank you. Next will be the candidates running for Leamington Mayor. Current Mayor John David Patterson was unable to make it tonight, so I will invite Hilda McDonald up to the podium.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Oh boy, okay, I'm going to have to yell like I do at the grandkids. So good evening, I'm Hilda McDonald. After deciding to run for mayor, I began to build my platform based on the conversations that I've had with residents over the past 4 years. And since then, I've had to fine-tune that since opening my office, my campaign office, 3 months ago. I have 4 pillars to my platform, and each of the points affects different segments of our community. Some people are directly affected, but all of us are affected indirectly, whether by improved quality of life, which seems rather simple, to better customer service, or even just basically a willing ear of local officials. So my first priority, my first pillar, is the setting of a higher standard in the core. In talking to people that have come to my office, this is the number one concern, the number one complaint, the number one issue. So for me, I believe that through collaboration with stakeholders, facilitation with our administration in Municipal Hall, engagement with our residents, and enforcement with our bylaw officers and our police, we should be able to turn around the condition of our uptown. This will result in more investment in our community, expanding our tax base, and then helping consequently to keep taxes down, but also keep businesses healthy and improved growth figures, which we're always looking to grow. It will also continue to build our tourist industry with an inviting, fresh look that will attract tourists as well as our own residents, encouraging them to spend money and time in our own community. Shabby and rundown are words we want out of the vocabulary when referring to our core. Inviting, attractive, clean, and safe are the adjectives that I'd like to hear. The second priority, and this may not be of interest to everyone, but I do feel it's key to our community, and that is getting ahead of the curve for the coming growth in the greenhouse industry. This growth won't just be in cannabis, but with the recent announcement from Walmart USA as well as Wendy's that they will be using only greenhouse produce as opposed to field, it will mean continued growth in fruit and vegetable production as well at the same time. So what we need to do is have processes and procedures in place before the needs arise. We need to be able to react quickly and efficiently on such issues as housing. That was one that seemed to catch us. Sanitation, which is why we're moving to take that sewer line to the north. Environmental and transportation. That industry cannot afford for us to be slow. They need us to react now, not after the fact. And then to a lesser degree, but just as important, I'd like to find a balance by sharing opportunities for growth and improvement in all areas of our community. For the past number of years, we've had a CIP, or a community improvement program, available for the uptown only. We need to create other CIP areas so that other business neighborhoods can benefit and prosper. Incentive packages that encourage more investment will obviously, to me, benefit everyone. Looking for private-public partnerships should be the next step for the Erie Street South waterfront. A CIP designation would work really well here. And then moving along the waterfront to Point Peely, that's another good area for similar incentives. We have a jewel in our backyard that really should be connected more with our community and beyond. Particularly now with the building of the new bridge, and I'm sure you saw it in the paper the other day, the new Gordie Howe Bridge, there's going to be bike lanes. And there are people within that organization that would like to see the bike lanes go from Detroit, across the river, and down to the point. Opportunity will be knocking, mark my words. And then lastly, we need to go back to engaging with our residents. And this means returning to our mission statement where we, council, are accessible, accountable, and dedicated to the people we serve. As council members, we need to talk about the issues and the concerns with our residents, with our business owners, with our industry leaders. We also need to engage with the leaders of the different sectors in our community, using their knowledge, their expertise, and their smarts to problem solve and then consequently invest further in our municipality. They are just waiting to be invited to that table. These are the 4 pillars of my platform based on my interaction with our residents and building on our past successes. I'm confident that we can and will do better. Since I've had my office open in Uptown Leamington, I've heard the concerns, I've seen the issues.
At the 5-minute mark.
Why does it always seem that when you're at home that you could just go on and you've got 10 minutes and it's 5? And anyway, I just want to say to you, I've enjoyed my 12 years on council. I look forward to serving a number more. With a new government at the provincial level and a new representative coming at the federal level, the time is right to make a change at the municipal level. It's time to vote, and I hope that you will vote for me, Hilda McDonald. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Now I'll ask Bruce Metcalf.
Just show of hands here. Who was born and raised in Leamington in this room? Okay. Who come from outside of Leamington to into this area? All right. Who immigrated to Canada? Okay. The reason why I say that is all the wants, needs, and requirements of individual, whether you're from Leamington, outside of Leamington from Canada, or an immigrant, are basically the same, right? You want to come home after a day's work, have a meal with your family, relax, get ready for the next day, okay? So being from Leamington, okay, does not necessarily mean you know all the requirements and needs of the people of Leamington. All you have to be is a fellow human being to know the needs and the wants of the residents of Leamington. My name is Bruce Metcalf, and I am a candidate mayor for Leamington. I was born in Hamilton, raised in Halliburton. Anybody know where Halliburton is? Beautiful spot up there, right? Excellent. I spent 28 years in the Canadian military, traveled the world, traveled all of Canada, specializing in logistics, operations, and training. You'll find my words to be short and concise. Personally, I'm an honest and ethically correct man who considers the needs of the majority over the few. My top 4 priorities are as follows. First, the tomato has gotten to Leamington to where we are in 2018. But in reality, the city has stopped the tomato festival. Many greenhouses are now filled with a cornucopia of additional vegetables and some fruits. The city is the most southern point in Canada, which boasts a couple of extra nice months of weather. Looking at a map, Leamington with Pelee National Park looks like a mini Florida. So my idea, it's time to utilize these natural geographical attributes and rebrand Leamington as the Florida of Canada. We don't have to lose the tomato, but it's time to rebrand. Even the Toronto Maple Leafs, they change their jersey up once every 4 or 5 years. Second, the Uptown Core. The Uptown Core has been abandoned and neglected for quite some time. Okay, it is time to make the Uptown Core a priority. My travels through the Canadian military has led me to many quaint East Coast fishing villages. Anybody been to the East Coast? You go into there, they've got beautiful little spots. Houses are green, red, yellow, blue, purple, all set up very nicely. I have that vision for the Uptown Core. Okay. During my times out on the East Coast, many tourists would flock to these destinations, sit down, take pictures, eat their biscottis, that type of thing, dine on world-class seafood. Okay, that's my idea for the Uptown Core. I want to adapt this into my vision of the Uptown Core. Paint the entire core in this theme. Permit businesses to expand into the main artery of Erie Street during the good weather months. Utilize our rich cultural diversity by sponsoring Cinco de Mayo, Caravana, Italian, Lebanese, Mennonite, Portuguese festivals in our Uptown Core. Other special events such as Ribbon Burger Fest, street sports, concerts, buskers, fall and winter festivals will also assist in attracting and retaining new businesses that will ultimately increase the spectrum of goods and services offered to the residents of Leamington. Third, we've got to expand our tax base instead of raising taxes. To do so, developing Florida-style communities, maintaining a community within a community will attract new residents, provide a sense of security and the Florida feel. Amenities for these communities such as a pool, shuffleboard, tennis courts, and a social center should also be offered. Building stage guidelines such as smaller home size, double glazed windows, on-demand hot water heaters, and cisterns will help reduce reliance on local infrastructure. Our municipality experiences a huge surge of migrant workers for about 8 months. They're an important part of the community, and they greatly assist with the agricultural businesses and inject their hard-earned dollars back into Leamington. In conjunction with the OGVG and other interested business entities, I propose that we utilize the old LDSS as a migrant social center. Some people may say, well, we can't separate them. I say it's not separation, it's congregation. Okay? There is a soccer field which could sustain a league culminating in a mini World Cup. This facility can also offer short and long-term accommodations, Wi-Fi hotspots, movie theaters, and a cafeteria. Making them feel part of the community will ensure a symbolic relationship between Leamington's residents and them. Thank you.
CFTV would like to thank Janine Lassaline, Kari Sleiman, and the Seacliff Manor for allowing us to be here today. Our gratitude is also extended to the candidates and their family. From all of us here at CFTV, thank you. And don't forget to make your vote count.